Hi, my name is Dr. Hani Botros. I work in the field of skin cancer in Sydney, Australia. I made an observation regarding the pattern of spread of COVID-19 in Australia, which may help us in the fight against the pandemic. Every outbreak of COVID-19 in Australia died out. In many cases, we couldn't figure out how the cluster of infection started and how it disappeared. Cluster after cluster, cases after cases of COVID-19 somehow vanished. The question is it possible that the ultraviolet rays which cause the problem of skin cancer in Australia also kill the virus? If we examine the melanoma in Australia, Australia has got the highest rate in the world. In comparison with other countries, for example, the USA and UK, Australia has got like 2 to 3 times higher incidence of melanoma. State by state, the incidence of melanoma in the state of Queensland is much higher than the state of Victoria and even more than any other state in Australia. The state of Victoria has the highest incidence of COVID-19 and highest mortality rate. Around 9% of deaths came from the state of Victoria. On the other hand, the state of Queensland has the lowest incidence of COVID-19 and the lowest mortality rate. So there is an inverse relationship between the number of melanoma and the number of cases of COVID-19. I'll show you some statistics now. Both the states of Queensland and the state of Victoria were in lockdown during the outbreaks. I was puzzled by the number of cases appearing out of nowhere till I read a paper titled The Virus Theory by Gareth Morgan. In the paper, Gareth demonstrated that person-to-person contact is not necessary for the spread of the virus. I'll leave the link to the Gareth's paper down below. In one interesting case, authorities have found that the spread of COVID-19 in one of the churches in Sydney was airborne, meaning that the virus spread through the air. It's believed that COVID-19 traveled 14 meters inside the church in Sydney from a singer to the congregation. Now let's examine the ultraviolet rays which causes the skin cancer problem in Australia. There are three main types of ultraviolet rays that we know of: ultraviolet A, ultraviolet B, and ultraviolet C. Ultraviolet A and ultraviolet B can reach the surface of the earth and can cause many problems to our skin, from skin wrinkles to skin cancer. Ultraviolet C, however, doesn't reach Earth's surface as it gets blocked by the ozone layer. The ozone layer, however, is depleted in certain areas, and the biggest hole in the ozone layer is located above Antarctica. Geographically, we know how close Australia to Antarctica. Is it possible that the ultraviolet rays which cause the problem of skin cancer also kill the COVID-19? Another evidence to suggest this is a possibility is that the use of UVC emitting lamps in medical setting to disinfect surfaces and sanitize the air. Companies who manufacture those kind of lamps claim that the lamps are effective in eradicating different types of viruses. We need to think about COVID-19 as an airborne disease, and that possibly the ultraviolet rays, especially ultraviolet C, may contain the virus. I'll leave all the supporting papers in the links down below, including my own paper on academia. How can we use this information to contain the virus? We can install UVC emitting lamps in public areas, for example, in supermarkets, in shopping centers, in buses, trains. Therefore, I would like to invite scientists from Australia and all over the world to examine these possibilities. Thank you for watching.